Shalom and welcome to 2 Minutes of Torah. This year is entitled Torah and Dr. Aliza Bloch Part 2. In the first shiur we mentioned that many great holy rabbis came out supporting Rav Moshe Buppel and around town, and all the ads said Das Torah to vote for Rav Moshe Buppel. We discussed in the previous shiurim that Das Torah of many Gedolim, for sure. I don't know about Das Torah of all Gedolim. I don't think it should be written that way, but of many Gedolim, many great poskim and rabbis. The previous shiur about Das Torah and Dr. Aliza Bloch, we said that what is Das Torah? So one formulation is simply that you have a classic psak where you have all the sources brought down in the classic Gemara, Rishonim, Shulchan Aruch style. And then sometimes if it's a communal issue, so it's not just a specific psak, and you have chalav akum, milk from under government supervision. Can a microwave be used for milk and power and meat at the same time, and just use a bag or not? Is that enough? That's a specific psak. But when it comes to more of a communal issue, so maybe you'll call that Das Torah. But the fact is, there's another difference as well. Very often, a Das Torah conclusion is presented as just a fact, as a given, where not necessarily through the classic Gemara, Rishonim, Shulchan Aruch, Achronim style, where you'll take the Tzitz Elias and all the classical poskim of Avad Yosef and the of Sternbach, where normally you have that process, every tshuva, that's normally the way it works. With the back, forth, and the analysis, source-based analysis, often Das Torah is just given over that that's it. Where this is the conclusion. Some examples would be 50 years ago in America, many rabbis signed that a rabbi cannot be part of the synagogue council. It used to be the synagogue council, where you had rabbis from the Orthodox, conservative, Reform denominations, all would be on that council. So many years ago, many of the leading Gedolim in America signed, a rabbi cannot be part of that. Soloveitchik did not sign, Rav Silver did not sign it, but many others did. Rav Kotler, Kanievsky, and Rav Moshe, and others signed on it. It wasn't a tshuva rein, it just signature. This cannot be done. The Shirut Lumi controversy in the early years of the Medina, where simply it's given over from the Chazon Ish. Das Torah says girls cannot be involved in Shirut Lumi. And then there's no tshuva given. It's just a conclusion. So I'd like to just state that when that's given over as Das Torah, I would say can give a psak, and his followers follow it. Every time you ask someone a shaila, Rav a shaila, you say, well, I'm not going to follow you if you don't tell me what your reasoning is. That's a chutzpah. Haselach harav, you have a rav, and you follow. He doesn't always give you an explanation. So it could be the Chazon Ish paskin, and this is a psak, which I understand. I don't know if he has an obligation to find a tshuva and everything. Rav Moshe wrote thousands of tshuvas. Rav Moshe did not write a tshuva, as far as I know, on the synagogue council. He just signed. That's not usually Rav Moshe's approach, but he did that here. So he could fall Rav Moshe. I don't think that's appropriate to fall Rav Moshe. He gave a conclusion without writing a tshuva. Magielo, he was entitled. The only thing is, I think we should just know that sometimes there's some serious ramifications to this approach. When a gadol, the gedolim, say this is Das Torah, and this is the conclusion, girls cannot be Shirut Lumi, or the rabbis cannot be part of the synagogue council, or yeshiva boys don't go to the army, and it's not necessarily a tshuva written by Rav, by the Chazon Ish on the topic, or by Rav Shach. It's not a halachic classic tshuva. So then, although a rabbi, a group of rabbis could paskin for their constituency, for their followers, that this is the psak, and they don't necessarily give a full tshuva. The only thing is, what about other people, great rabbis that have a different position? And now they have the position, they might even write a tshuva on the topic. So to me, it's very important that when there is a Das Torah proclamation, So those people that follow those poskim, that's your psak. But I think it shouldn't lead to the fact that other gedolim may argue, and they have another position. And this shouldn't lead to the fact that, no, there is no other argument. The Das Torah has already paskined. Yes, your Das Torah has paskined, but there is another side. And if Rav Lichtenstein argues about going to the army, he says a Ben Torah could and should go to the army, he's not outside of the Das Torah. Not only that, he wrote a tshuva 50 years ago, 40 years ago on the topic, famous tshuva, brought down in Tchumim, Chelek Vav, where he explains his position. So if the other side wants to counter and argue it out, great, that is the beautiful halachic process. So a group, a rabbi, a gadol wants to give a psak, a das Torah, without giving the whole back and forth, certainly entitled to, but it should not lead to the dismissal of the other side, especially another side where he goes through the halachic process and shows his reasoning from the beginning to the end. So I think it's very important. So just to finish off regarding Das Torah and Aliza Bloch, so many gedolim, many rabbis said that no, Das Torah should be from Moshe Buppel, and this is what they held. I don't know if there's long explanations or truvas written on the topic why, but that's what they held. Haredi Meir, and they liked what he's done until now. That's the simple reasoning, and I'm sure they weren't happy about a woman, Rosh Hashanah, whatever the reason. I don't know if it was really explained, but this is that position. So you follow the psak. So I guess follow this too, if that's how you hold it. You follow Das Torah in all areas. But to say that that's the only approach to this topic of who is the Rosh Hashanah, who should be the Rosh Hashanah, because the Das Torah said it, and therefore Dr. Aliza Bloch cannot legitimately be the mayor. And even after she's voted in, it's not really proper mayor because it wasn't done through the proper means, because she shouldn't be the mayor. I don't think that's a healthy approach. And I think we should be able to go ahead and separate between those people who follow their gedolim and rabbis in technical areas of halacha and broad issues as well, and also at the same time be able to see that there may be other positions that are not necessarily the same as your positions. Other positions may be clear, may be explained, may even be tshuva and response on those positions, and chas v'shalom for another side to be dismissed from the whole discussion simply because it's not your Das Torah side. Yetz Hashem, we should be able to reach a level where we could say, just like Shas is filled with thousands of arguments in halachic areas and also not just halacha, some hashkafa areas as well, philosophical areas as well, and approaches and community approaches, how to go ahead and do things. And we're going to give an example the next year. We should also be able to go ahead and do that here as well in Yetz Hashem. Shalom.